I never did anything like that, and just kind of, I was so old when well, I mean, I rode bicycles growing up, of course, and mountain bikes and all that stuff. And I'd ridden motorcycles. I knew how to ride motorcycles. My buddies had little dirt bikes, little 80s and 100s and 150s and stuff. That wasn't anything crazy, but we rode. I mean, my first bike, I think I bought it when I was maybe 18 or 19. I bought a 96 Kawasaki Vulcan 800
Mm.
that was just straight piped and obnoxiously loud. But
you felt like you were cool back then.
yeah, but I never did like the safety course because
Oh yeah.
I wasn't 15. I don't need the
Mhm.
safety course. So I never did anything like that, and just kind of, yeah,
Learned it
hey,
the
don't
hard
do
way.
that again. That's painful. Or don't do that again. That costs way too much money.
Well, I tell you, the consistently the people that I hang around, the best riders they all started out in the dirt, and
Yeah.
they got good in the dirt. They may not be motocross riders, but they rode enough trails that's like you learn all the essentials, traction, braking, all the essentials that you never learn on the street until why did I crash? Well, I had to lay her down.
Well, there's so much, you can take so much from dirt and apply it to the street, but there's not a whole lot from the streets that you can apply to dirt. You're not going to drag a knee. You don't see these motocross guys dragging a knee, slid half off the seat or anything like that, because that's useless off road. You're not going to lean a motorcycle over.
Yeah.
I saw some stuff talking about, supercross, supercross guys. They're leaning over, dragging their knees, dragging their elbows, because they have ridden that track so many times. They've put so many laps on it.
Right.
And on the street, hell, you don't know what color car is going to come around that corner. Or if there's going to be a car coming around that corner. So you don't know what's coming. So you don't lean into a corner like that, because you do that, that way you can't see anymore because you're on the side of your bike. And I was watching some stuff, and a guy was talking about watch cops ride their motorcycles.
Yeah.
They'd lean the bike over and they sit up straight.
Yeah.
And so that way they still got
tight turns though.
Yeah, they can still see the whole road. They see everything.
Yeah.
And that's the way I turn a motorcycle on off road. I didn't know it had a name, It was just, that's how you did it. So you could see, hey, there's a stick in the road right there that's going to eat your lunch here in just about too late. So that's where I say you can take a lot from dirt and add it to the street.
And almost nothing from the street.
No, because I mean, what is there on the street? Throttle control?
Well, there's the same hazards, but they're just not all the time. Like if you're riding in the dirt, you have those same hazards almost the whole time. So,
loose. It's loose.
Yeah, loose, deep, sometimes, rugged, sometimes.
Go around a right-hand curve where there's a dirt driveway on the right-hand side of the road, or with a right-hand curve, and there's going to be gravel in the road. And if you're leaning that bike over real hard and you're not paying attention, there went your traction. Now what you going to do? It's too late. You don't have time to do anything. So you're not going to do anything. So therefore you're going to crash no matter what.
Well,
so I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I'll just say, like I said, dirt applies to road more than road applies to dirt. Always will.
But it's the dirt is the safety course. You think you haven't had a safety course, but you've learned exactly how to ride your motorcycle the best possible, most efficient, most safe thing. When you see a patch of sand in the road or gravel in the road, you know what to do. It's not a surprise. It's not a
when in doubt, throttle out. Man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well,
except on a KLR, because there's not
railroad track. Same thing. You get your ass up off the seat when you hit railroad tracks.
We were coming down a spot down there in the forest that we had rode 100 times, man. I mean, we'd just been, and we knew there was a rough spot. There were some brake bumps and whatever, but it was smooth. And we came through there, boy. They threw some chunky old rocks out there, like tennis ball sized rocks on this road, because truck, it don't matter, car, it don't matter. They're gonna go. They're not gonna fall off the road.
Right.
We hit that stuff, and it was in a curve, and so we come around the curve, and we're probably doing 25, 30 miles an hour, which you say ain't fast.
Right.
That's moving off road if you're going around a turn that you don't know what's on the other side. But of course, like I said, that's part of it. When there's that big old chunky gravel, man, you can't. What you gonna do? Stop in it?
Are you talking about Forest Road?
Yes.
I've seen them dump that stuff, and it's that thick too.
Yeah. And it's
golf balls.
It moves and does all that kind of stuff. So you just squeeze the tank, pin the throttle, and let the front wheel do what it's gonna do. because the motorcycle wants to stay up.
Yeah.
You know, a motorcycle don't need you on it to go in a straight line.
Right.
You push anybody that's pushed a bicycle down a hill just to see what it does knows a motorcycle don't need you on it to stay up. It's going to do what it can to stay up. It's usually you pushing or you locking your arms and not letting the front wheel juke around and do what it needs to do. That's where people mess up on dirt. You got to stay loose and stay moving. So, I mean, comes to the whole not knowing what to expect thing, you know, expect the unexpected, I guess, as cliche as that sounds.
Well, have a good plan to react to that stuff. And it should be kind of a reaction. It should be second nature.
Right. And it's, like I said, man, the times I've skid out or laid the motorcycle down, you get freaked out, you grab too much brake or something, or you stiffen up. You just stiffen up on the bike where you don't let the motorcycle, you're counteracting what the motorcycle needs to do to stay up, and you're gonna go down. I mean, you're locking your front wheel. I mean, not locking the tire, but you're locking the handlebars because you're freaking out. And there's been times, I mean, here, shoot, 2 weeks ago, I was riding and rode through a little funny part, and I felt my right arm tense up because you got your throttle and you don't want to do anything crazy with it, so you lock up. And I was like, man, I need to quit doing that. Just don't. I mean, you gotta put it in your head, hey, don't do that. You know,
or you just drink a lot before you go riding.
I mean,
there's no tense enough, and you bounce so good because you're not all tense
now. Yeah, you're loosey goosey. I get it, but I'd rather just go park somewhere and have me a couple beers and a campfire and a good nap. You know, that's good stuff.
Well, maybe we could do that soon. I'm thinking that bike, that new to me bike, might be on the horizon.
The bike of which we do not speak.
Bike that nobody knows about unless you've talked to me in person, or maybe on a live stream. I've mentioned it on a live stream before, but
you'll have to go back and watch the live stream now to figure it out.
You have to watch all of them.
Every one of them.
All the 12 2-hour live streams
they're all right in the middle somewhere.
I swear, I keep saying that. It's like, I don't see how people sit through a whole live stream. I'm almost bored, but it's almost like I'm having a conversation with my friends. It'll be really nice to have everybody that I like to talk to on a live stream. I think we've had 4 or 5 people.
We need to do it. Once I get my fire pit little deal built at my house the way I like it, we need to just bring some chairs, light a fire, set the camera up, and just see how many beers it takes to get interesting.
Well, I think the difference is it's really interesting to a lot of people for 10, 15 minutes, but I don't understand, but there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I just want to be sitting around the campfire. I can't be there. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I wonder if we could do like a live stream kind of format, but you know, edited for time. Well, pre-recorded live stream.
I've done those.
You know, so I mean, you take out all the boring parts. It's kind of like, well, I went to college for photography. I thought I wanted to be a high school art teacher. That's a whole long other story.
Right.
But it comes down to like photography. I did a lot of photography stuff. I shot weddings, and photography to me is so easy.
Yeah.
That it's just not interesting. You know.
Yeah.
I was good at it, but if you're taking pictures, and especially if you're doing video, like back in the day when you had a VHS tape, so you wouldn't the editing like you can do now so easy. If it was boring,
fucking boring, which brings me back to why is there 15, 20 people watching? I don't understand. But I think it's a lot of it is, I can interact. That's the difference between the live stream and I've done the live stream because it gets a much better audience. And just imagine if you got YouTube going, hey, there's a live stream. They tell everybody when it's live.
Right.
They don't send out notifications, but
and that way you have a couple people. You can have 1 or 2 of them watching the feed and say, hey, so-and-so said this right here.
Exactly.
And then it's a great topic. Hey, let's shoot the breeze about that for a minute.
Right. You know, it's kind of like they're there.
Yourself, you can't, like, we were down in Wetumpka. I was sitting there kind of feeding you what the live stream was doing as it was going.
That's the way to do it.
You know, and that's a good way to do it. But it's still even tough with just 2 people.
Oh, yeah.
You need 4 or 5 people there,
right.
and maybe 1 or 2 of them at a time.
Right.
Of course, 1 at least, because less than that, nobody's really doing it.
Right.
But 1 or 2 guys, man, that are just, it's your time. Hey, for the next 5 or 10 minutes, you look at it. Hey, man, I saw this right here. So-and-so, Joe Blow said this.
Right.
What do you think about this?
Right.
You know, and that gives them some interaction a little bit faster Because I've seen on the live stream, I'd put something and then you get backed up for 5 minutes and you're
Terrible.
like, put it in the box. Man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Happens all the time.
And then you want to go add, a compound or whatever on the subject, and then it's like, hell, he's not ready for 5 minutes. Delete, delete.
Well, yeah, and I may be commenting on the last comment. I may be responding to the last comment I saw, which was 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Well, now I'm going down that tangent. And
Right.
yeah. I'll tell you who's really good at that. And you may be a close second, but Carl was really good at that. Oh yeah, so and so said such and such. That's a good comment or question or whatever. Yeah, it's hard to do, man. Like I said, I think there's a way to make a really good, entertaining, captivating live stream. Mine's not it, but people still watch it. So I'm thinking maybe there's some opportunity.
I don't know why. I just think having the fire in there, because people, if
draws
you got
them
the
in.
camera, like I said, the camera is the sixth person. You got 5 people sitting around the fire. The camera's the sixth person.
Right.
So they need to be able to see the fire, hear the conversation, just know all what's going on. Like they're sitting there in a chair. Put it at eye level with everybody that's sitting down. Don't have it up above everybody. Just have it right there where they're getting encompassed in it. Do the VR thing, man. You right there with us.
Well, I'll tell you I would love to have the ability to do like one of those really nice produced live streams where there's 4, 5, 6 guests and there's 3 or 4 cameras and it cuts to whoever's talking. And golly, that would be great.
You got to have a film crew to do that, though.
You got to have at least one
producer.
Person. That's all they're doing is click, 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 click. Go to camera 2. Go to camera 3. Go to camera 1.
But you got to have one screen up there with all what you're sending out. You got to have, if you got 5 people, you got a camera on each person and a camera on everybody. So that way you can, if you're having a big group thing or if somebody's saying something really smart, they go, okay, camera 3.
Yeah.
And that's how they produce.
I may put this on a live stream tonight, just see what happens.
Yeah. The
downside is though, my responses are going to be in the comments. And you could chime in too, but it's not us talking, but I guarantee you we'd take care of the comments a lot better like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we're not talking about it live. We're just running our mouths and it's a live stream and there's 50 people in the room and,
Wait for something cool, man. Like I said, if somebody comments and then if it seems like a fairly poignant point, it's something good. It's something that would add to the conversation.
Right.
And you just kind of gloss over it because you just missed it. You weren't trying to be a jerk or an asshole or anything.
Even when I go back and scan it, I can't find it.
Right.
Like, where am I? And I'll go back and I'm like, oh shit, I've read through all this stuff already.
So somebody's sitting there holding it and being like, boop, here it is. And they can pause the chat part of it for a second. So they can go, hey, this guy right here said this.
Right.
And like whoever's reading those is literally an extension of your audience right there, So you got to have somebody, number one, that can read. We can't just look at pictures anymore.
Well, and it also takes a lot of judgment because some people might not go, that's an interesting question, or that would make a really interesting topic of discussion.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that would be, which, you're clearly understand what's good and what's bad.
So when's everybody going to find out about this new bike? If there is a new bike.
I think I'm going to film the whole process and just go roll it out and go, like a teaser. Like, anybody recognize this bike? Anybody know where this thing came from?
If you find one that somebody might recognize. If there was a bike of such out there.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Golly, I don't know that anybody remembers that shit. I think I put out one of those videos from that adventure in the last 6 months, and it didn't do well. So
I wonder if it's too far removed from the rest of them. Because you had a little bit going on since then,
Well, I got the 3,000 people that joined after the crash, which I don't know if that's motorcycle people. A few of them are obviously, but it may have been 2,000 people that have no interest in motorcycles at all because I am losing subscribers.
I know you got a couple off of the Paducah, Kentucky Sheriff's Office. Because when I called them and talked to them and found that information out, they called me back and were like, what'd you say his channel was? And they went and got on there and they're like, we're going to have there's at least 5 of us here that's gonna subscribe. I was like, awesome.
That's great. Well, you know, they also, I just like that thing you were talking about. They to have the feedback of the people you pull out of the ditch. Did they survive?
Yeah.
How are they doing?
Yeah.
What's their story?
That's something in that line of work that you just don't.
You never know.
You never really hear about it. I mean, because I mean, it's you just it's not something you talk about.
Right.
I mean, you would love to hear the where you did a good job and so still around kicking it. You know,
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those, but I mean, for the majority, it's not going to happen. It's just not in the cards, man. There's not anything viable that you really want to hear about it, other than nothing you did worked. You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So they just kind of don't. You don't hear a lot of it.
Sure.
So.
But it is good to get an occasional attaboy or a hey man.
Oh yeah.
If it weren't for you kind of thing.
Yeah, you'll hear of them every once in a while, a couple of years, but you know, for the most part, you hope you don't have to deal with that. I mean, because you don't want to have people pass away that you worked on and was trying to save.
Sure.
I mean, it's like I tell people, man, you got some really good paramedics with you right now.
Yeah.
Really good ones.
Huh.
You know, whether, I don't know if that comforts them or not, but that's just part of it, I guess.
Well, thinking about anything other than your current situation and how bleak it is would probably be good. I would think.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we got to get out some camping stuff. Even if you don't do it on a motorcycle, we got to figure out some way to get out in the woods, man.
I'm ready, man.
I'm getting that time of year before it gets just blistering cold. Because waking up and it's 25 degrees outside is not the most fun. You can do it, but it's not.
There should be a reward to that, other than going and getting in your car and going home. There should be my gosh, it's 25 degrees, but look at this.
My wife never once told me, "Good job for not dying out there in the cold." It's cold and it hurt, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
She never once told me good job for that. Oh. But I guess she did let me come home, so that's okay.
Well, I camped for the first time since my crash. It was on the ground. It sucked, but it was good being outside.
I said we still got the trees over the backyard, man. We did the live stream over there one night.
That sounds
just say
good.
Screw it, get in your hammock.
That sounds good. That sounds a whole lot better. Well, you got a quiet neighborhood. You got a lake there. We could do all kinds of stuff.
As long as them damn beavers don't get out there. I'll tell you right now. Beaver slaps that tail about 20 feet away from you in the middle of the night. That'll scare the piss out of you.
Huh.
It'll damn sure do it.
Huh.
But yeah, I got to get out and get back to motoing and outside and all that.
Those are both big deals.
I think you're a lot closer now than you were.
I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling my abilities. It's just that.
Quit making all the old man noises.
Yeah, well, the strength, my lack of agility, my lack of balance. I don't know that that's ever coming back. I mean, it really just feels like.
Well, it's not. Nothing's just going to come back for free. Not at your age, my age, anything. Yeah. You're going to have to sit there and earn it. You're going to have to. There ain't no freebies anymore. Not like that.
I feel like every day I'm earning something. I should be getting some kind of reward. And
you ain't walking around with that sheepish stick all day today.
That's pretty good. I've never gotten up and walked 5 feet without a stick. And it's been all.
That was your binky, man. You were.
I knew it.
Have it.
I knew it. I knew it the whole time. But it was also like really nice when my legs started hurting. It's like I got to go sit down and put a sock in. I can get there with this stick.
Are they going to resize that and make it?
He said 6 months probably is all I got with this. So, but yeah, refit it because it's supposed to be shrinking like my pecker. I hope it doesn't get that small, but. Because then there'll be nothing there, just be like that.
There'll be nothing to put in, there'll be nothing to put in the socket.
Oh, we don't make socks that small. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You're just going to have to hop everywhere. I got to go home and go to work tomorrow.
Well, man, it was good having you come out.
Yeah, man, like I said, let's get some descending rings for that thing. You got to get 4 of them.
Yep.
You need 2 carabiners and 2 descending rings. I would suggest getting a bigger strap than that one single strap you got. You got that big one?
Yeah, I got 2 of each.
2 of them. Okay, good. Yeah. Take those little ones and just throw them away, or put them with your pulley kit. Because that right there, the single sewn. No. See how this has been looped back on itself?
Yeah, that's a seat belt.
Yeah, that's absolutely it.
Yeah.
I've actually made these. I got a sewing machine
Yeah.
I've done this stuff with, and you can make, no, it wouldn't be rated for it. Like this ain't rated for a seatbelt.
Right.
But that's going to hold.
So can you sew shit pretty good?
I mean, I can do okay. I guess, for me.
I'm terrible.
I went to a thing, and the singer guy says, "Look at how good this thing is," and he sewed 3 wooden rulers together. I said, "I got to get me one of those." I didn't know really how to sew very good, and I think he had his machine tuned because I had to take that sewing machine that I had just bought. It wouldn't sew for anything. I took it to the shop and get it checked out, and they go, "Oh man, this thing's way out of alignment." I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't sew anything. I was like, well, it just about wouldn't. I don't know what to tell you, but it wasn't doing good. But now they fixed it, got it doing good. So I got into the whole trying to make waterproof bags, like frame bags for my I guess gravel grinder bike that I got, that one titanium road bike looking little deal.
Okay.
Just bag it goes in the frame, takes up some of that unused space, and you
Right.
pack some stuff in it. I've done some pretty long rides on it. It's nice to be able to carry a sandwich or something with you, peanut butter and jelly or some goos or anything like that,
That's exactly why I started trying to learn how to sew. I got a sewing machine and it just kept giving me trouble, but that was the idea. I've got a unique bag system, whatever, that nobody else makes, and if they did make it, it'd be $700. So it's like, I buy some nylon, I can make my own shit. I've just never been good at it.
X-Pack, man. Buy X-Pack. That stuff is awesome.
X-Pack.
I think they make sales out of it, but it's like, I think they advertise it as like waterproof to 200 psi. So I mean, you're not gonna pump up a bag to 200 psi, and you're not gonna have anything unless you just hit it with a pressure washer. But I mean, I believe it's sailcloth. It's almost like a ripstop kind of deal, but it's got little diamonds in it, and it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. I've sewn it together. Now you got to waterproof the seams and stuff, but that there's really nothing to that.
Well, I carry a set of hook needles and upholstery thread on every time I go out, and it's really handy because I don't need to worry about the shit coming apart if I sewed it. But it takes forever and it's not pretty, and
I had an old boss that said enough knots to hold the world backwards, so, or pull the world backwards. So yeah, I mean, if you put enough on there, man, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, I guess, on something like that. But yeah, we can come up with something like that. Like I said, I got a sewing machine that'll sew through sew through 3 wooden rulers. Anyways, I synced it.
Fun to see. That would be fun to see. Well, not just that.
I'm sure it's not good for it though.
It would be nice to see somebody making some shit instead of, because any kind of fabrication, sewing, whatever, is to me is good, because it's like that was always my motivation, was nobody makes this shit. And if they did, if I actually found it, it'd be one guy, it'd be custom jobs. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be $1,200.
Man, nobody makes what I want. Then you make it, and you go, oh, that's why nobody makes it, because it's stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And doesn't work.
It's happened a few times. Stuff I've clapped on the motorcycles. It's happened a few times, but usually it's like, no, that's not the right design. That's hitting here and that's moving. It just redesign it just a little bit. Most of the time, it's just been it's been a process, and
that's it.
All right, man. I'll let you
go home.
All right, take me that microphone. There you go.
Okay.
That was fun, man.
Yeah.
Next time, I might ride out with some camping shit and come to your house and hang by the thing. And
man, you hadn't seen there. I've dug out a big hole right there. If you didn't look down there last time, I've dug